In the shadows of a forgotten land, where the moonlight danced upon the ancient cobblestone streets, a small village lay nestled between towering mountains and whispering forests. This was a place where stories of old lingered in the air, and secrets were hidden beneath every stone. It was here that young Jackson, a curious and adventurous boy of 8, found himself embroiled in a mystery unlike any other. The village of Elder Glen was quaint and peaceful, its residents kind and welcoming. Yet, something strange had begun to stir among the children. Jackson and his friends, a lively group of 5, had started experiencing peculiar events. It all began one evening when they were playing near the edge of the forest. Strange shadows flitted across the path, and a soft rustling echoed through the trees, sending shivers down their spines. Jackson, with his keen sense of adventure, was the first to notice the odd occurrences. Toys went missing, only to reappear in the most unusual places. Whispered voices seemed to follow them, and on more than one occasion, they felt the unsettling sensation of being watched. The other children soon shared Jackson's unease, convinced that an unknown enemy was playing tricks on them. As the days turned into nights, the children's paranoia grew. They gathered in Jackson's treehouse, a secret hideout where they could speak freely without the fear of being overheard. It was here that they hatched a plan to uncover the truth behind the mysterious happenings. They would keep watch at night, taking turns to guard the village and catch the culprit. One night, as the clock struck midnight, Jackson took his turn on watch. Wrapped in a warm blanket, he gazed out into the stillness, his heart pounding with anticipation. Suddenly, a flutter of wings broke the silence, and a shadowy figure swooped down before him. It was Brian, the wise old bat of Elder Glen, known for his stories and ancient wisdom. Brian landed gracefully on the treehouse railing, his eyes twinkling with a knowing light. "Fear not, young Jackson," he began in a deep, gentle voice. "I have come to help. The shadows you fear are not your enemy, but rather a part of this land's forgotten magic." Jackson listened intently as Brian explained that the village was protected by ancient guardians, spirits of the forest who watched over the children. They were playful beings, often misunderstood, who meant no harm but wished to share their joy with the living. Understanding dawned upon Jackson. The strange events were not the work of a sinister enemy but rather the playful antics of the forest spirits. He thanked Brian and promised to share the truth with his friends. The bat nodded approvingly and took to the skies once more, disappearing into the night. The next day, Jackson gathered his friends and recounted his encounter with Brian. At first, they were skeptical, but as Jackson spoke of the forest spirits and their playful nature, their fears began to fade. Together, they devised a plan to befriend the spirits, leaving small gifts and notes of friendship at the forest's edge. As the days passed, the strange occurrences ceased, replaced by a newfound sense of wonder and connection with the world around them. The children learned to embrace the magic of Elder Glen, and the forest spirits, in turn, became their silent guardians, watching over them with gentle care. The mystery of the Midnight Watcher had been solved, and Jackson, with the help of Brian, had brought peace to his friends and the village. Elder Glen returned to its tranquil state, the shadows now seen as friends rather than foes. And in the heart of it all, Jackson knew that adventure awaited, always just beyond the next turn, in the shadows of a forgotten land.